Stay tuned for the biggest fish, the hottest bites, this week here on In-Depth Outdoors. With James Holst and Pat McSherry and the rest of the IDO fishing team. We're headed to the best fisheries across the upper Midwest and Canada. We'll fish longer, explore unfished bodies of water, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites in fresh water. This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of In-Depth Outdoors. I'm James Holst. On today's episode, we're going to be fishing the Madison chain of lakes in Wisconsin with PJ Vick. Now, the reason we've selected this destination is really very simple. I love catching big bluegills. Now, PJ Vick grew up in this area. He and I have spent quite a bit of time talking about how would you go about targeting these gigantic bluegills. He's made it very clear that these fish are heavily pressured and can be incredibly difficult to catch, except for during early ice. Now, here in Minnesota, we're well into our ice fishing season. But in Madison, Wisconsin, things are just getting rolling. So when PJ gave me a call, I knew it was time to pack up and head to Madison, Wisconsin. We needed to get an early start. Remember, these fish are heavily pressured. The areas we're going to be targeting are very small. We're talking channels, boat harbors, small ponds connected to these larger bodies of water. And these panfish will stay in these areas until you get about 8 inches of ice, or heavy snow cover really blocks out the sunlight that's penetrating the ice right now. We've got about 3.5 inches of ice to start the day. As that sun gets above the trees, the light comes down through the ice, it really warms things up. In fact, we saw water temperatures pushing 40 degrees, and that's why these bluegills are up so shallow and easy to target. So stick around, it's going to be PJ Vick and I targeting a body of water that we've always wanted to fish together at early ice in Wisconsin, here today on In-Depth Outdoors. Some holiday spirit there, PJ?
I am. I'm feeling all cheery.
Oh.
Ready to catch some fish.
I'm gonna catch a bluegill wearing a Christmas hat. How much ice is there? 3-4 inches?
It's about 2.5, 3 inches, I'd say. We're not too concerned. It's 2.5 feet. If anything, you get a little wet up to your belly button or so. One coming up. Hopefully you get the hit. Ooh. There we go.
Ooh, PJ got a nice one.
Yeah, I got a nice one. And it did not hesitate. Come here, bud. All right. Off we go. Now that one was aggressive.
There he is.
Got him, James?
Yes, I do.
Right on.
That's a nice one.
Nice one?
Oh, look at that. Boy, they are thick and tall, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Oh, here comes another one.
Wow. All right, back you go. See ya. Over here. Right there.
There we go. Ooh. Whoa.
What happened?
He is all up in it.
Oh, you got it.
Nice. Oh, what a great fish. All right, off you go. What a beautiful bluegill.
not a giant. But I tell you what, even the smaller fish here are really well built. Super nice. Fishing a 1/32 ounce tungsten tubby with a black wax tail. Very basic, very thick, heavy, meaty bluegills. Another week from now, as this ice gets a little thicker, these fish are gone. But right now, this is the best game in town. See you later. We're on about 3.5 inches of ice here. Certainly no secret. I mean, if you look behind me, the locals are lining the wall here on this channel. Everybody's catching fish, having a good time. And the bluegills are in here because the water temperature is so much higher. I mean, believe it or not, I got my underwater camera down here and there's not enough visibility to really see a good image, but it does have that temperature gauge on there. And it's almost 39 degrees near the bottom in this shallow channel that we're in. You know, main lake out near the surface, you'd probably barely be, you know, right around that freezing mark. So these fish are back in here. They're cold-blooded, and that extra, 6 degrees of temperature, they're a little bit more active. And I would assume that the invertebrates or whatever they're feeding on in here are a little bit more active too. So, like I said, a week from now, after a cold front rolls in, this will firm up and all these fish will push out of here. So early in the season, these real shallow marshes or boat channels, little ponds connected to bigger bodies of water, that's where the action's at.
StrikeMaster introduces the new Lithium 40 volt. Everything you've ever wanted in an ice auger. With a 40% increase in cutting speed over the competition and up to 100 holes per charge, the Lithium 40 volt has the power and stamina you need and a 2-amp rapid charger that can bring a fully discharged 40 volt battery pack to a full charge in as little as 2.5 hours. The new Lithium 40 volt, only from StrikeMaster.
Otter, the leader in quality and innovation, is opening doors with the release of the all-new Crossover Series ice shelters. All crossover shelters convert from traditional front door entry to convenient side door entry and back again in seconds. Otter, the toughest, strongest, smartest, and now most versatile shelter on ice.
From the first time you pick up a tuned-up custom rod, you'll know you're holding something special. A rod not mass-produced, but built one at a time by the hands of gifted craftsmen. Rods like the Precision, ice fishing's most versatile multi-species rod, or the Precision Noodle with a tip so sensitive you'll never fish a spring bobber again. And the Commander, the rod that's never met a big fish it couldn't best. Tuned-up custom rods. Ice rods handcrafted for you and the way you fish.
This winter, set a trap for your next trophy with iFish Pro. Ideal for all species, iFish Pro is an innovative fishing system that allows an angler to use their favorite rod and reel instead of trying to manage the fish hand over hand.
There's a flag right there.
Complete your ice fishing arsenal with iFish Pro, tactical ice gear that puts the fight back into tip-up fishing.
Look at that.
Find iFish Pro online at ifishpro.com or at your favorite sporting goods retailer.
Hit it. Hit it. There. Oh! Ooh. Gotcha. Trick that one a little bit.
Take that, huh?
Yeah. Off you go. We're fishing real shallow today, up in some ditches on the Madison chain of lakes. And what we're looking at is it's early ice. The ice, it just got safe. And when the sun's overhead, this shallow water warms up probably 4 or 5 degrees more than what's available on the rest of the lake. And it draws these panfish into the shallow water. The bite's been really good. The fish are been pretty aggressive in here lately.
And they're big.
And they are big.
They are pressured though.
Yeah, they're pressured. Yep, we're okay with that.
We're okay. There he is.
There you go.
Oop. Oh man. PJ setting the standard and I think I fell a little short there. Not running you down, little friend, but come back when you're bigger. Good stuff. The time it took that fish to hit that jig, he actually grew.
Just sat there and stared.
One more ringer on the tree, man.
Oh, same thing.
You dump you?
Do it again. Oh. Come in and just smacked it. There we go.
Third time.
There. That was a decent one, James.
Look like it. They're tall and they're thick.
They really are. They got a nice build on them out here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go. I think I just caught that one.
You did just catch that one. Back you go, little guy. He's persistent, I'll tell you that. 3, 4 times.
In-Depth Outdoors, Spot on the Spot ID.
Today's Spot on the Spot ID that goes with this episode is anything but traditional. Very often when we're doing this segment, we're talking about very complex structure that is we're targeting to help narrow down our search area that will really help us target the species that we're after. Nothing could be farther from the truth today for these gills we're targeting on the Madison chain. In fact, there's almost no structure anywhere in the area. What we're looking for are very shallow bodies of water that are connected to these larger lakes. It could be a boat ramp, it could be a small harbor, it could be a pond or a marsh. And what happens is, as these lakes first start to ice over, these bluegills are going to be looking for warmer water. Now it seems counterintuitive that a small body of water covered with ice would actually be warmer than the main lake, but trust me, when we dropped the camera beneath 3.5 inches of ice in this small little area we were fishing, we found water temperatures approaching 40 degrees. So this is far from a pattern that's exclusive to the Madison chain of lakes. This approach will work on just about any body of water that has a healthy panfish population. And here's what you need to know. The same type of areas that lose their ice first in the spring are the same areas that will often ice up first early winter. Those are the areas you need to be looking at, and you have to keep in mind that you have a very narrow time window to target these fish. As soon as you're able to safely access the ice, that time is the right time. As soon as you get 8-10 inches of ice, by that time, the bite window has already closed and most of the adult fish will be long gone. So keep this type of approach in mind. Any year you've got an early ice up where you get a couple 2, 3, 4 inches of ice that's followed immediately by a warm up, sunny days, calm winds, that is the perfect scenario where you're gonna have large numbers of adult panfish in very shallow water. And the wonderful thing is they're very active. If you can find this scenario, I all but guarantee you're going to be able to catch some very nice fish in large numbers.
Lithium Shuttle, only from Markham Technologies. Okuma Fishing Tackle offers a complete lineup of reels for the die-hard ice angler. The Okuma Samar 10 and Inspira 20 are a perfect match with your favorite panfish or walleye ice fishing rod. Both feature a long stem handle that fits comfortably in a gloved hand. Cyclonic flow rotor technology that throws water off the reel to minimize ice buildup. And a drag system optimized for use in extreme conditions. Everywhere, every day, every fish. Okuma Fishing Tackle is inspired fishing.
At Aluma, we make the longest-lasting, most dependable enclosed trailers on the road today. By building quality our competition just can't match. Our all-aluminum construction gives you a heavy-duty but lightweight trailer that can handle your tough hauls. Aluma trailers are engineered for ease of use with you in mind. All backed by our unbeatable 5-year warranty. Work or play, get there. With Aluma, we're in it for the long haul.
we got him. Oh, not so bad. That one just came charging in and inhaled it. Beautiful fish. Off you go. It hasn't been lights out here today, but the ones that we are catching are some great quality fish. And for me personally, I'd rather catch quality over quantity any day. Comes another one. Gotcha. All right. Beautiful fish there. Holy cow. That's a tubby. Wow.
Oh, that one looks like a dandy.
That's a tubby right there, man. That is definitely the biggest one of the day. Just a beautiful round fish with shoulders. We like them type. Off you go.
That's a nice one.
Awesome. That was what we were looking for. Oh, come on. Nice. Nice crappie.
Get one of those giants.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I seen that one just come flying out of nowhere and slurped it right in. Off you go, bud.
How far down are you contacting them? Because I'm not seeing fish at all.
Oh, you're not.
Zero.
As I'm dropping down, they're kind of appearing in that lower foot and coming from below, and they'll come right up to it.
I have not seen a fish.
If you come over to my right over here, there's a whole bunch of them. I actually am watching them just swim by in a school.
Yep.
Gotcha. Come here. All right. Not too shabby there. Off you go, bud. There's a whole school of them headed your way, James.
I've just marked 2 of them. It's so windy and wavy. I mean, literally, I can't
There's waves
see
in
them.
the hole.
Yep. I don't want to sound crazy about it, but it's true.
Them ones were actually really high up. Probably only 1.5 feet under the ice.
You're schooling me, buddy.
I'm doing kind of that slow descent, starting right underneath the ice and jiggling it down until I see one come in on it. Then I kind of work it a little bit less. Ooh, there we go. Not a bad crappie. Oh, come on.
Oh, nice bluegill here, buddy.
All right on.
There you go.
Very nice gill.
Yours is longer, mine's prettier.
Yeah. Doubling down though.
All right. Man, they're thick fish. Whew. That is sizable. See you later, bud. So, after getting completely throttled by PJ, I finally relented and downsized. He was fishing the 1/64 ounce head, and I was fishing the 1/32. And you know, one might think, hey, that's not that big a deal. Trust me, it is. Unless you're okay with getting outfished 12 to 1 or whatever you were doing to me. It was awful.
Excellent. Great fish. All right. Give me some more of that.
You know, what's interesting about this pattern to me anyway is this is a scenario that's happening on just about every larger body of water that has good bluegills in it. So the main lakes will be open or just freshly iced over, not safe to fish yet. And on these warm, sunny days like this, you've got ice on these harbors and canals or just smaller connected bodies of water. And you know, we got out here this morning, it was cold, and the bite was slow. And a lot like fishing in the spring open water, the bite just picks up and gets better and better and better as you go throughout the day. The sun actually will penetrate through the ice and warm the water underneath it. And we've had an underwater camera, Markham, down just kind of look to see what we can see as far as fish are concerned, and the water's pretty dingy, so we're not getting a good image. But what's important is to notice that the water temperature is almost 40 degrees down there, so real easy to understand why these fish are so active back in these small bodies of water.
It's going to. It's gonna do it. Gotcha. Yeah, baby. Round and round she goes. Right on. Another nice fish. This is something I really enjoy, pan fishing. This is kind of getting back to the basics for me. I mean, that's what I cut my teeth on being a kid, you know, going out pan fishing with my father and my grandfather. So I don't do enough of it anymore for these bluegills, but I really do enjoy it. All right, there you go, bud. All right, the sun is up high, it's getting warm. It's probably in the mid 40s right now, and the bite's really starting to heat up.
Brandel GM in Aiken, Minnesota's only haggle-free Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer, is a proud sponsor of In-Depth Outdoors TV. Our Brandel value price ensures that you don't have to spend your entire day haggling to get a great deal. And every new vehicle comes with our exclusive gimmick-free lifetime powertrain warranty. Whether you're in need of service, sales, parts, or body shop repair, stop by our state-of-the-art facility in Aiken or visit us 24/7 at brandelgm.com.
Offering features not found on any other underwater viewing system, the Quest HD from Markham Technologies offers a vivid 7-inch widescreen display, Sony camera, and the ability to send video to a TV over HDMI in full 1080p. The Quest HD offers on-screen display of direction, temperature, and depth. This season, get your eyes below the ice and see what you've been missing on the big screen with a Quest HD underwater viewing system from Markham Technologies.
There we go. Oh yeah, nice crappie. Right on. Nothing wrong with that. I got just a bunch of fish coming through down there. I bet you I've seen 6 of them at one time. This is the first guy to come get it. There you go there, buddy. Whew. All right. So we're using the 1/64 ounce tubby jig today, tungsten, and we got it tipped with a black wax tail plastic, and then we're using just one red spike just to give it a little bit of meat, you know, a little bit of scent, and it seems to be the right color combination and the ticket to get them to go.
He's stuck in a hole. There you go.
That's a good problem.
There's a nice one. So I'm kind of cheating here. We've got some melt on the surface of the water. I'm not even putting the transducer in the hole anymore, just setting it on top of the ice. It shoots right through the ice, and I'm seeing these fish come in, and there was like 6, 8 of them just taking turns pecking at it. This one finally delivered. Let that guy go. You know, it's quite the challenge to target these gills. Obviously a lot of pressure here. Everybody's been, you know, a lot of fun to fish around. It's actually added quite a few laughs to the time on the ice here today. Met some cool people, but because there's so much pressure, I mean, PJ proved it. Super small, lightweight tungsten jig heads. We were fishing the same color. I was twice the weight. No bueno at all for me. It was not good.
No.
So downsize to the smallest tungsten tubby that VMC Rapala makes, and then as PJ laid it out there, just one spike. You don't want to make it too big, too cumbersome under the ice, and even keeping it that small. I mean, I watched 6, 8 of these bluegills come in and just mouth peck. So maybe later on in the day, as things heat up, these fish will get even more active, but right now it's those tiny presentations, and then you're still going to have multiple fish that kind of short strike on it. The fact that I get to see them and watch them like that makes it double the fun.
It really does. Being able to watch them down there adds to the excitement. And you know you're fishing for big fish that way.
One thing I've noticed here, as we're getting later into the day, the fish are getting higher and higher and higher in the water column.
They are. That water must really be heating up down there. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Right on.
Nicely done.
Nice
Do
fish.
you have any buddies with him?
It had a crappie with him.
It wouldn't happen to have been a smaller crappie, would it?
It was.
It just came by over here.
All right. That was a beautiful roundy. Bloop. Cool.
The loving caress from PJ Vick. Makes him smarter, you know that, right?
Yeah, it does. Educating fish.
Yes, there's a nice one. Well, you were right.
They were coming.
You were headed my way.
Oh, there's one.
Did you get one? Double! Man, they are a handful, bud.
Yeah, they are.
God, what a nice fish. Back you go. Frustratingly, he was the third that tried to inhale it.
Third time's a charm, that's what they say, right?
Yeah, I'd just as soon do it first time. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of today's episode. And this episode will actually air the Sunday before Christmas. So we want to wish everyone, from all of us here at In Depth Outdoors, a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Before we go, I want to thank PJ Vick for that phone call. I wouldn't have missed it for the world, buddy, and I cannot wait to return the favor. Now, I want to remind everybody that we're accepting entries to the Brandel GMC-sponsored Dream Trip giveaway. Go to our homepage, indepthoutdoors.com. Look for the Dream Trip giveaway logo. Click on that and get yourself entered for a chance to fish and film with In Depth Outdoors. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next week.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.